So I'm going to give you a second to hop on, and I'm going to show you a couple things just why I'm waiting. And then, as always, I love to hear where you're from. So as a reminder, if you say hello, depending on which one of my pages you're coming in off of, I can't see some of you. I can only see that it tells me that a Facebook user is saying hello. So just know that if I don't call you out by name, it's just because I can't see it. So you guys, have you ever used a candle that has a wood wick in it? Like, they're so cool. And I have one. This is one of my favorite companies. It's called Mythology Candles. And she just has like a total magical theme with all of her candles. And she does like really cool different themes when she puts new candles out. And so it's super cool. But this one has a wood wick. So it's kind of like doing the whole crackly thing. The other thing I'm going to show you, because you know I love to show you guys my stuff that I find. These are so cool. So these are supposed to be, hi Lisa. These are like little fidgety things that your kids can play with, but I actually use them when I'm doing sessions or talking to people. So it just like, I have to have something in my hands. Like when I'm public speaking, I have to have a paper clip or a little alligator clip or something in my hand to play with while I'm talking. It's like how my brain engages with the rest of my like whole whatever. So anyways, okay. Woodwick candles are so cool. I know they're like all crackly. All right, guys, this is so good. As always, we're going to talk about something that you can just take into action right now. Like you can play this in your life the moment that you're done watching this. And always don't forget, if you're like, how do I find these later so that, you want to do the replay? The easiest thing to do is to go hop on my YouTube channel. So the link is up there in the comments. If you hop on the YouTube channel, then you can see them all. I'm really hitting it hard. Like I had, some bumps in the road over the summer. So I'm really hitting it hard coming into fall with reorganizing, kind of like giving my whole platform a fresh start. So if you're hopping on here, you haven't seen me before, just so you know, my name is Amy Jorgensen, and I love helping other people. So my platform is on helping people find their joy again. I'm also the founder of the Soul Centered Academy. So I have some courses in how to work through your subconscious issues, all kinds of cool stuff. So you can check that out. Thank you. I actually have a really cool TikTok that I'm going to do a little bit later today with a hello. Oh, Camry. Well, wow. That was like, maybe let me just blush a little. That was very sweet. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about this. Let me get my little graphic back off here because it's shiny. It's a little too much. Okay, I want to talk about energy and putting energy out and reciprocating it back in, because this is really, really important. And I usually do things in sets of 3. So this one you get a bonus because there's 4 things. So I'll talk about them and then I'll recap. And then for real though, I'm like, oh, I might be blushing slightly. So first of all, complaining. Okay. I'm gonna tell you some super simple things. Oh, Lisa, right? I forgot. You were one of my very first clients. 100% pain free. What I don't remember like right off, was it, am I thinking right? It was like your knee, maybe. Oh, I have almonds in my teeth. I don't know. But anyways, I'm so excited for you. That's fantastic. Actually gonna come back and screenshot that. Okay, so let me close this. Yes, that's what I thought. That's so cool. Well, I will tell you that I appreciate the opportunity that you gave me to help you. Okay, so let's talk about complaining. So easy to do, right? I think that I get really stuck in this space because lots of people will be like, how's your day? Or like when I was growing up, like my mom would always say that, how's your day? And I don't want to talk about my day because I really was a miserable child. So let's talk about like how you can kind of change this. So complaining, it's really easy to get stuck in here. I'm going to tell you the why you don't want to do it on a different scale than probably what you've maybe thought about before. So I want you to think of when you complain, you basically are sending out an energy cord. Okay. You're sending out an energy cord that has a magnet on the end of it. Okay. And the magnet is highly, highly magnetic. Like, I mean, I'll show you, like, just let's do a visual aid. So these are my cool little magnets that I use. And like, I'm talking like, like the super magnet. Those things are hard to pull off my filing cabinet. That's what it's like. So when I start complaining, I'm sending out this energy with, imagine if you will, that magnet on the end. And so it's just like zapping, it's picking up negative energy and it's magnifying it, because now you have this complaining. And let's put this into an easier perspective for you. If I'm complaining to another person, what am I doing there? I'm affecting their energy as well. And that's why it becomes magnified. So if I complain to you and you're listening to it, what happens when you're around somebody that's complaining all the time, right? How do you feel? You don't listen to somebody complain and then walk away like, yeah, I'm on top of my game. Like, I'm feeling so good. You don't at all. You feel drugged down. There are certain people that you're like, I just can't be around them anymore because I feel so depleted after they're done talking. It's just like, right? It's like running a marathon. You're basically emotionally dehydrated. So that's the first thing that I want you to think about is complaining, sending out that cord. It's a magnet. It's attracting another like energy. It feeds. It's a way for other negative things to feed off, because then you get another person complaining, and then on and on it goes. It's just like this gigantic cycle of energy. And so choose to. I get it. Like, we all have moments. Like, I'm not a person that complains, but yeah, like, I have days, right? So instead of, like, I'll tell you something that I did today. Actually, I started this really long text and I was complaining about crap that was happening to me. And so I wrote it, and then instead of hitting send and sending it to the person that was asking me about my day, I deleted it. But guess what? Just that writing it down for me was a way to express my emotions, but I didn't actually send it, so that person wasn't affected by everything that was going on in my day. So try doing that. Write it out. This is a good trick that I do at work. You just have to follow the number one cardinal rule with this. Never put the person's email address in the email when you do this, because otherwise you will accidentally hit send and you can't recall that back. So, right, if you're having an issue with someone, open an email, don't put anyone's name in the address, type out what you really like to say, and then delete it, because you will see that it helps you to clear away some of that negative energy from the complaining that you want to do, that you're basically keeping it in the space where it's not being sent so much to somebody else, because you're deleting it and letting it go. Yes, Lisa, you're so right. Noodling, right? For those of you that follow, that's what I call noodling. So here are a couple of my journals. If you haven't seen them before, if you go on Amazon and you just search for my name, Amy Thane Jorgensen, you can find them. So this is my avocado one. So basically, we noodle every day. We write our 3 non-negotiable items that we're going to get done. Because, right, remember, your brain doesn't care how big those non-negotiable items are. They can be dishes. They could be writing a book. It doesn't matter. Your brain just views it as, I got my 3 non-negotiables. Your affirmation, your gratitude, what you're doing to recharge a bonus. And then you're just going to noodle. And if you go onto my Blocked Emotions Facebook, you can see that I do, during the week, I'll do a little prompt for you to noodle to in case you need a writing thing. Okay. So there we go with that. Let's do this one. Attaching a past event to a present situation. Wow. I had someone do this to me the other day with like something that they compared something that happened to me. So I have this beautiful new situation and a person was like, well, last time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so right, that's that person pulling me, pulling me back to a space and time where I'm not even talking about the same individual. It's not even involved in my new situation. They're not the same thing. So don't get yourself stuck like that. It's like saying, I'm going to paint like a flower yellow, and you always paint them blue and then grabbing a blue marker. Okay. Because you're telling yourself, well, I want to do a new flower and I want to paint it yellow, but you're grabbing the blue marker and then expecting the flower to be yellow. So you got to move past that. That one can be a little tricky, right? That's why people like myself, practitioners, can help you get through some of that subconscious muddy mess, is to kind of clear some of that stuff out. But nothing is the same. Okay. I'm going to say that again. Nothing is the same. I don't care how it's similar. It smells, looks, tastes. Nothing is the same, because that was the past and this is the present moment. And the present moment is the only place that you can make change happen. Okay. So then now let's talk about negative thoughts into your aura field. So what is your aura field? Okay. It's actually measurable. You can see it. It's something that they can actually show on, with scientific evidence. So you have this beautiful energy around you. It flows. Everybody's is a little different. If you're the type of person that's incredibly sensitive, you may be able to see the color of someone's aura field. It's highly dependent on how they're feeling, different emotions they're expressing, all kinds of stuff. So is what happens is your aura field's a great place for energy to hang out. And it's also a way for you to connect with other people. And it's what speaks before you even do. So when you get around a person and you're like, oh, that just feels ickish, right? Your aura is communicating with their aura and it's not liking what it's finding. And I always tell you, like, trust your aura because it's like a nice little GPS. And the problem with it is when you're having negative thoughts about anybody, anything, any situation, even if you're keeping them to yourselves, they kind of like float around out there and it attracts. So when you're in a mood, right? What do you attract when you're in a mood? Like today, I was very cognizant when I got to work. I used to fight through my emotions because I'm like, well, I'm a bad A military chick. I don't have emotions. I don't cry or feel all the feels. And then once I went through healing, I was like, whoa, somebody said this to me the other day, like, oh, it's so hard for me to have a session with you because it makes me cry. Good, because that's an expression of release. And so this morning I was having one of those moments where a song came on my Spotify and I was just sitting there for a second and I started tearing up and I was like, let it go. It wasn't tears of sadness. It was tears of like pure joy and zen and gratitude in the space that I'm just like, and I might start crying now, in this space of like, how did I get to this beautiful place? And yes, I was sitting in my work parking lot. That's not the beautiful space I'm talking about. I'm talking about the beautiful space of just everything that's happening. Okay. So when you have gratitude and you have joy and your feeling of happiness in your aura field, that's the kind of energy that you attract back to yourself because it feels good to people that are also giving off the same energetic vibe. We attract like, okay? So that moves me into this next one. These are called trauma bonds. Thank you, Lisa. I used to wear these shirts every day to work, and then we had these like really ugly, like blue shirts that we have to wear over them as part of our uniform. And I always laughed because I was like, it looks like we're going to go change oil at the Jiffy Lube. But now I wear a shirt at work that's like logoed with my company logo. So I now have like 45 of these shirts that I just don't ever wear anymore. So, this is my happy place. I put them on just when I do stuff like this now because I don't wear them to work. But anyways, okay, trauma bonds. This one's something that's probably going to resonate with some of you because it was something I used to do. Okay. So a trauma bond is a thing that you share with another person. So I did this a lot when I was in the military. People in the military have lots of camaraderie. So when another person is in the military and you find out that they've served in the military or they are in the military, it's like this like automatic connection, right? You're like, military, we're bros, whatever. Okay. And it's just like this connection. It doesn't matter what they did. You just know there's something about that person that understands what you've gone through that nobody else does. Okay. This is the same thing that happens if you've lost a spouse. This is the same thing that happens if you've been in a divorce. This is the same thing that happens if, you've been whatever. So we tend to want that comfort of someone else that understands us. Okay. So initially that sounds really cool, right? But if I have a negative attachment to, and we're going to use, one of my situations, because that's all I can speak on is things that I've been through. Let's say that I have a negative attachment to my daughter's passing. I will attach myself to other people that are also living in a negative space from their child passing away. Well, that sounds great because then I have a person that understands me, but the problem is you feed off each other. And then this trauma becomes your identity. So now whenever I meet someone, I introduce myself as, my name is Amy. And then as that person's talking to me, I bring up my trauma, right? I can't have a relationship with someone without letting them know about my trauma. And then I'm getting this like almost this comfort because I'm getting a little bit of sympathy. And then it's like you get this spot where a person's like, oh, wow, I'm willing to do anything for you because I know how much you've been through. And then it becomes an expectation for me. And so we kind of become this trauma bond club. And it's almost like you don't want to leave your group because you don't want to heal yourself. It's actually one of those things that stops people from healing. I don't want to heal because let's say that I belong into this like big group. Maybe I joined a grief group. Okay. So along the way, I've shared my grief and they've shared their grief. And now we have this like great bond. What the heck do I want to heal for? If I heal from my grief and I don't need my group anymore and I can't identify with them, I've lost my friends and I've lost my identity, and that's not comfortable to me. So I might hold on to my trauma bond because it feels good. I know that seems really like, for a minute, you're like, wait a minute, that makes a lot of sense, but wow, you don't want to get over it because then you don't have that anymore. So it doesn't mean you have to forget about it and you just toss it out. It means that you associate your trauma in a positive way. So like looking at Miss Kindley, right? I associate her passing as a positive because I can connect to other people that have been through that trauma and show them not that I can go live in misery, right? Show them that you can be happy and find your joy again, even if you've been through that type of a trauma. All right. The last one is negative expectations. This one is going to be something that we all are guilty of. Okay. I'm going to give you a really simple one. If I'm attached to this negative core belief, that now I'm older, but I'll tell you that if it probably will all resonate with you, that first it was 20, then it was 30, then it was 40, and now it's 50. Maybe it's 60. It depends on what age you're at. So for me, it was like, oh, as a kid, right? When I'm 30, like I'm really an old person. And then when I got to be an adult, I was like, no, 30 is not really that old. And then I was like, 40 means that I'm old. And then when I get to the age of 40, I'm like, 40 isn't old anymore. I need to move that on, right? So here's what happens. If I have it in my head that when I turn 40, I get old, then I will do exactly what I think. And I'm going to start getting old. I'm going to start getting wrinkles. I'm going to start doing all this stuff to make it happen for me. So another one is, if I expect to feel crummy when I wake up in the morning, I will make myself feel crummy when I wake up in the morning because that's my expectation. I wake up and immediately pops into my head, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be in pain. And so then that's what I create for myself. Okay. So those are 4 things that now I've pointed out, and you're like, wow, cool. I resonate with all these. What do I do? So I'm going to tell you, maybe that was 5. I can't count. Anyways, but now I'm going to tell you how you can combat them. So let's recap. 1, stop complaining. Stop complaining. How do I stop complaining? You just simply start appreciating. Find gratitude, start appreciating. 2, work through the past. Find something positive to do or something positive to attach it to, or get some help around subconscious stuff. So like you can come work with me, do an Elevate Life vibration session where we tap into your subconscious and release past traumas, emotions, and all that toxic stuff that you have going on. The third one, recognize when you have negative thoughts. When negative thoughts creep in, you got to replace them. Think about something positive. 4, redefine your trauma. So get a new trauma partner. Find someone that's gone through what you've gone through that actually healed. So yeah, you can share that, but find someone that's like living in the now moment of like a healthy place from their trauma. And the last one is simply change your expectation. Stop doing the like, I'm 40, so I expect my body to be breaking down. Like I tell people all the time, I'm aging backwards, and I'm not lying. Like I honestly will tell you that I'm aging backwards. I've never been more healthy in my life, and I've also never been this age in my life. Okay. So it's all about what you resonate with and what your belief system is. So there you go. Now take this, let it sit, go back and watch the replay on YouTube. And remember that these things that you're working through, they've become a habit. So give yourself a little grace, work on it, but know that it takes some time to change it because it's a habit. All right, there you guys go. I hope you have a delicious rest of your week. I will be TikToking my new street sign. So if you follow me on that kind of stuff, the new street sign is up. It's pretty rocking. It's perfect for me, and you guys are going to love it. All right, have a fantastic